Hello everyone and welcome to the Darren Connell podcast show. Fucking hell, this has been a while, innit? What's that, been a couple of months? I feel nervous. Welcome back, and this time on the podcast we've got my two chums, Marc McG and Loki. How you doing, Trips?
Very well, mate, very well. Yourself?
I am alright, thank you very much for coming on tonight.
It's a pleasure.
It does feel a wee bit weird, man. I've not done one in about 3 months.
Aye, well, I actually feel quite comfy. I've done the Hollows one here in December, so...
Aye, Doug's running up out of your face now.
Aye, the Doug's are great.
So, I appreciate you coming on. We've got a lot to talk about. Obviously there'll be questions in at some point, and we've got Will at the side there, the voice from above. It's like a foghorn when he shouted you at the motor, didn't you?
That was good. I don't know how we would have found you.
We were picking the Trips up at the bus station and he's fucking leaned out the window and he's like, "Hey!" Everybody was like, "Hey!"
I was just like, that's it? That can't be for us, surely.
That's about 5 mile away. What is that, man? It's like a bomb bomb alarm. So what's happening, boys? What you've been up to? You've been away on holiday, haven't you?
Aye, I had a wee 2-week break, so I spent the last week just catching up with 3 weeks of messages that I dinged. So obviously the madness of December was really busy, and then, you know, Christmas, New Year, and then I went away. So if anyone's waiting a reply for me, sorry, I'll get there.
I'm the same. Mark is actually in a band called Gyro Babies, and you're kind of the manager as well, aren't you?
Aye, well, we're unmanageable, so I've got to do it or anyone else will, do you know what I mean? Or we could do, or I'll just wait and Gordy the drummer to do it all, but aye. Yeah, so Gyro Babies, we had a wee break, but we came back in December, so it was our first gig for ages, and hopefully this year we'll be a wee bit busier. We've got some new songs and a wee tour planned, hopefully. Yeah, definitely England in end of April, and hopefully Europe, you know, maybe Holland or Germany in September, October. Brilliant,
because I chuckled, because Loki, I was looking at you, and it was a Scottish hip hop star in Offer, and then I was like, right, Marc McG, spoken word, poet, one man performer, 3 bands, and then you're a fucking manager and you own a production company.
There's a few things on the go. I just a bit of everything. Yeah, just lots of wee things.
Aye.
But when you put it all together, it's quite a lot.
And it takes usually the whole of January off. Somehow I don't know how he manages to pull that off.
Well, just doing it badly. I just spend the rest. I suffer for 11 months catching up, so then I just get a wee week or two away.
How do you know each other?
I think the first time we met was probably just at I think maybe a battle rap thing.
Badmouth battles?
No, way before Badmouth. I think it was maybe when I went Flop, and I'd obviously heard Darren's music, because basically at the age I'm at, I thought I'd invented Scottish hip hop myself, and then I got the internet and it turned out that, you know, there was loads of people doing it a lot better, especially I think Loki just brought out the Friendly World album. That was when I sort of got it, and I was like, it was phenomenal hearing that accent. Then that was quite inspiring a bit. But I met him a couple of times, we just like briefly, but then I think the first time we properly met, I think it might have even been the Friction Burn Supper that's celebrating. I think I just contacted you online and seen if you were up for doing it. And I just...
Pretty sure I cleared a few of them out, man, in the early. I remember one gig, it just the audience just like declining steadily throughout the course of the set. Well, we always found it funny, do you know what I mean? Or at least I found it funny.
I'm like, I don't know, see, as long as I entertain myself.
I think the rule is that there's nothing wrong with having a really bad gig as long as it's really bad. I don't like this middle of the road stuff. Obviously, I would love every gig to be amazing, but that middle of the road hand clap, why not just I've had the gigs where they all leave, or getting, you know, we get booed off stage at the ICW and stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was great. It was great. I mean, it's the rest of the band were obviously like, what the fuck is this? And but I don't know what I mean. Initially I was like, fuck's sake, when we get, you know. Then I felt a wee bit like Ric Flair, like the bad guy in wrestling. And obviously, you know, Renfrew and Dallas were sound, you know what I mean?
Aye.
Initially it was going well. I mean, they were using our song Jeremy Kyle Fucked My Wife as their promo tune.
Aye.
So the crowd all knew that, so it started off really well, and I don't know if you remember the Soundhouse, but we played the last ever gig at the Soundhouse the night before.
Aye.
So it was a really busy weekend for us, as you can imagine, and then it just went a wee bit.
I got a hip hop band for the Soundhouse.
Did you?
It was one of my big early claims to fame in the
That is
Scottish
something
music
to be
scene.
proud of.
They were just like that, name your hip hop. Because I think it was like I was doing like an album launch or something at it, and we had got a bunch of wee guys to do the support for it. But it was at a time where like don't know, I think the wee guy thought he was really going to like do it big. No, he was a brand new wee guy and his dad was managing him and all that, but like ended up at the gig we were like, right, so you're going on at that time, and then they were like, and we're not going on first. I was like, sound no bother. So when they were out, I went round the whole audience and I was like, see, when I'm done, I'm going to give you all the signal and we'll all just walk out. So it was like the audience were all going to leave when they came on.
Aye.
And I used to do shit like this at gigs all the time, do you know what I mean? But we didn't know him and all his wee mates had a fucking motor outside with crowbars and all that. Wow. And it ended up just being a complete rammy, and it was like, they were just like, never again, this Scottish hip hop thing's no happening in here again. But
that's not really what the Soundhouse vibes were about at all, you know.
Aye, I'm just thinking about
laugh, but
any time I've been in a Soundhouse, it's just been ecstasy and fucking doof, 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 doof.
Aye, it was
So I've heard.
allegedly. It was a cracking club. It's a shame that it's gone, to be honest.
Do you think Scottish hip hop, Loki, has went through I mean, because you've been smashing it recently, mate. I mean, you've got a new album coming out this year, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's the third kind of album of your
Aye.
But with your Scottish Safari is like, like just fucking, you sold it. How fast did you sell that out?
Touch, we sold out. We sold it out on the night, but a lot of the the pre-sales for it were quite encouraging, to be honest. I've never played Touch before. And I had never quite managed to make it into that sort of network that you need to be in to be getting the support for DF that can help you take things to the next level. So I was quite surprised actually to get a phone call for them when the book came out, and they were like, look man, if you want to develop a show or you want to perform or something, let's talk about it. And then it was cool. I just decided to sort of, don't know, throw a few different bits together and kind of improvise as what I do when I'm performing. If I'm not going, it's very rare that I'll do like a straight hip hop gig now.
It's more of a one man.
I quite enjoy having the freedom to kind of follow up ideas that come to me, and then when I think it's running out of steam, I'll do a tune or something, or bring somebody on with a guitar and just try to create a kind of an experience that definitely puts the rap front and centre. But at the same time, like for me at the age I'm at now, then the hip hop aesthetic, if you will, is a bit restrictive. Do you know what I mean? Like I like doing it. I like performing and making hip hop music, but the hip hop gigs and the hip hop audience, I've tried bringing what I want to do into that realm, and it's no really kind of caught on. Because people aren't there for that. Do you know what I mean? They're there for fucking backpacks and hoodies and people talking about rapping, which is cool. But what I want to do is kind of, I don't know, man, explore other things. So it's good finding a new audience for it. But the gig went dead well, and it was a diverse crowd. And I got to the venue, it was full, so I couldn't believe it.
It was so impressive, mate. Because I obviously follow you online and seen you set it up, and it just sold out rapid. And even was doing the book quite stressful as well. Trying to set the book up was really stressful.
I mean, luckily, like once that process had started, then there's a publisher on board, and they can kind of help you manage some of the things. But even at that, we just had a way, and we were moving house. At the time, I was working multiple jobs, you know, part-time, self-employed. I hadn't went totally self-employed at that point. And then there was a couple of kind of things that I had released that got a bit of pushback on the internet, which was quite stressful. So just that whole period of doing the book was like, I've learnt my lesson about what I need to do the next time, because it's like no, that way you've got a deadline and it can propel you into getting shit done. But see, when you've got a deadline for a year, it just ends up becoming this mental thing. So like the Tuts gig was kind of finally being able to put a pin in it, you know, and it just de-escalating a lot of stress, and it was so nice that we got a kind of follow-up we've got shows now booked in Aberdeen, Dundee next Friday in Conroy's Basement. I think that's on course to sell out and all. Bristol, York, and then I'm assuming I've been getting messages from people, will you bring it to Ayr, will you bring it to Edinburgh? So really, technically it'll be turning into a tour, do you know, but I'm apprehensive about calling it that in case only a couple of shows sell out and it doesn't go according to plan.
I think you're doing it right that way, is just to kind of like, because like after King Touchdown doing Dundee, the hype has got to Dundee, and it's better, I think it's better splitting up just for your own sake, so you can enjoy the shows and actually put everything into it, rather than just try to do everything in a one-off, you know. It's the
idea is to sort of create a fringe show, you know, whether it's for this year or next year or whatever, but you know, try different things out at different venues, find out what works, you know, try something at this one, if it doesn't work, change it, and just build it as I go, and then that way, you know, each show is kind of fresh, the experience is different for the audience, and then also it's good to sort of go into a new place that you've not been in, plant your flag and say, next time I come here you'll come, won't you, you know, and so you're establishing yourself in a new way, you know. A lot of people might hear about you online, but it's like sitting down like this, you know, and you really get a sense of each other when you're sitting down, and I think that can really, that's where your material really takes off, I think.
Definitely, well that's exciting, mate, the exciting future regarding that. Were you working on that for a while, or was it just... Because it seemed to me, I mean, I've always followed you, but it just seemed show at King Tut's sold out, and then it just happened, you know what I mean? It was just quick.
Well, I mean, I'm always, for me, the sort of, at least the rap element of what I do, it's always ongoing. That's the thing I'm always trying to get back to. You know, it's the thing that I'll wake up in the back of a taxi or on a train with my head in, do you know what I mean? Like, because I'm like, this is the only time I've got to do this. Yeah. So I've always got shit that's ready to go. So for me, really, it was about looking at some of the material I'd been working on, some of it I have released, some of it I've no, and actually finding there was a lot of overlap between the stuff I was covering in the book and the stuff that I was covering in the music, because really, you know what it's like when you're kind of interested in a certain area, then that comes out in everything you're doing. So it was like, alright, hang on, so a lot of this show already exists, it's a case now of just finding a way to thread it together, and so, like, you know, I've just been experimenting with it, and really kind of try to, like, rap's no my only influence, you know what I mean? I was more, like, in my early days, I was more into drama and acting and recording what are essentially podcasts on my granny's wee tape cassettes and making wee kiddie on radio shows and all that. So, like, and then obviously comedians, you go through your Bill Hicks phase. I was mad for Andy Kaufman, you know, and that was something that no cunt understood at the time. I thought, it was like, why is he dressed as a midget on a skateboard when he's supporting the Far Side? Why is he doing this? You know what I mean? And it was like...
Or the air gig.
Aye, exactly, mate. So it's like just being able to bring in all the influences you've got and create like a show that's a wee bit of everything you're interested in. So I'm excited about that.
I'm a massive Andy Kaufman fan as well. I don't think I've spoke to anybody that likes him. They're just like, who's that?
They don't get it.
Are you a fan?
No, absolutely. And I mean, I was a fan of, like, he did a lot of really, you know, gigs when he's supposed to be going up and rapping, and he would just start doing something ridiculous. And, you know, he would upset a lot of people, and I think the crowd didn't like it, but it was funny, you know. I mean, it was some funny stuff.
You went to a gig as me one time. That was one of the things we done.
That was because you couldn't. Yeah, you weren't doing too well, but you didn't want to cancel the gig, so well, we got a backing track, and I just mimed it, and I had his hat on and all that, and I got into trouble for one of your pals saying stop imitating Loki, and then the video went online as Loki's worst ever gig. It might still be there actually, but if you type in Loki's worst ever gig, it's just me, and there's people commenting going, he's miming.
He's like a fit smaller as well.
It was funny at the time, man. Like, and then, because when you're going into a gig, and your whole sort of like motivation is to get a certain action out of folk, then obviously it doesn't matter to you if they like it or not. If you're just in that mode where it's like experimental, and like at that time, if you know, it's like when you're influenced with something, you almost kind of mimic your influences at first, you know, because that's how you kind of find your way about. So for me, when I was getting deep into the Andy Kaufman shit, like I created an alter ego rap character that cunts thought was real and all that, do you know what I mean? Like, called Archie Bishop, do you know what I mean? For a made up scheme.
One of my mates said Archie Bishop's better than Loki. Because Archie Bishop is dissing him and all.
But a lot of this stuff is lost on the hip hop scene because you're like, Andy Kaufman, are you talking about Andy Kaufman? So it's like, you go and do that hip hop gigs and not only you're pissing people off, but it's like, cunts are then like that, they're not into it at all. So it's like, early years you wind that stuff back. I stopped drinking and that, because sometimes I was totally misjudging it, you know what I mean, because I was mad with it, or if the audience wasn't giving me the reaction I wanted, I would take it personal and no look at some of the negativity I'm bringing into the venue. A couple of the gigs, like I say, that I'd done resulted in fucking violence and things happening just because of the atmosphere. So I was like, I need to pull back a wee bit, you know, and find a way to modulate it so that it works.
So do you feel that, see the Scottish hip hop scene, I'm not an expert on it, but do you feel that, I mean, I watch you and listen to you and you're a Scottish guy doing hip hop, but quite a lot of people seem to do personas and voices and maybe try to be no American, but you're Scottish when you rap. Do you know what I mean? So it's nice. So do you think that's a rarity, and the fact that you're sober as well? Was that, are you kind of in an industry where it's kind of just you that's sober?
Well, there's a few folk now that don't drink, or don't drink as much, or don't do gigs drunk. So, because I think the message of getting sober starting to come through, not just in music or Scottish hip hop, but generally, you know what I mean? We've had about a few decades of people kicking the arse out it, and, you know, famous artists dying young and all that, and after a time we will evolve to do it, do you know what I mean? But when you're in a music community and you're one of the first people to try it, it is dead challenging. Like, there was, like, I wasn't, I was doing hip hop at a time where to rap Scottish was no the cool thing, but now it's different. Now if you're rapping with an American accent, or you're putting on a kind of London accent, it's more likely that people in your scheme are going to rip you for it. You know what I mean? And anybody slagging the Scottish way of doing it is actually not seen as cool. They're seen as somebody who's ignorant. So that's quite a substantial shift, I think. And then obviously, like, over the years, you've had different artists getting different kinds of like coverage in the press. You know, you've had Hector Berserk, you've had Stanley Odd, you've had Young Fathers, you've got more recently like Shogun, and so everybody gets a wee shot, a kind of. Not a wee shot, I don't mean it like it's you're here and you're gone, but everybody gets a moment where they're kind of in the spotlight as much as you can be, and then so they're flying the flag, and the quality is there now.
I think it's massive in the last even 5 years. Just the fact that you've got your in, because obviously I come from a kind of rock punk background as well as hip hop, and I remember it being just Scottish hip hop was just laughed at the building, at the idea of it, and now then the hipsters, what some of them they always say, oh, I don't really like Scottish hip hop, but I like insert, you know, whether that's Stanley Odd or Hector or Loki or Shogun.
I loved Hector Berserk. I loved them because that was quite weird for me as well, because I know that Scottish rap was kind of laughed upon years ago. No, the fact that it was rap, it's because people trying to be American. But see, when I grew up with my favourite comedians were like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. My favourite music was Public Enemy. Do you know what I mean? So when Scottish hip hop wasn't that good, I was like, fucking, it could be amazing. Do you know what I mean? You just know it's going to be amazing.
And what's mental is, like, when because I ended up just stumbling on it by pure chance. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was a big Eminem fan. I was into hip hop before, but then when I heard Eminem rapping about shit I was going through, I started taking it a lot more serious. So I recorded a demo tape, was selling it in school, and then I was doing this wee kind of short film about knife crime or something like that. Bleached blonde hair, I was just fucking giving every cunt the finger and all that. And then the director of the film, I gave him my tape and I was like, can you put one of my songs in the film and all that? And he obviously, like, he was at that stage where, nah, I'm not putting this in. But he gave me a phone number for a guy that he had worked with before, and it ended up the guy was called Big Div, who had a crew called Major Fret and Paisley. So I sent him his tape, and then he ended up phoning me. He's kept all the letters I used to write to him and all that, you know what I mean? Brilliant. So he became my first, like, mentor. And I used to cycle through to Figure. He'd pay me a taxi through. I'd go for my granny's, and basically what he would do was, like, he would just kind of, he knew that I was good at rapping, but that I was heavy Americanised and Eminem influenced, but he didn't judge me. Like, he was carrying a real message of hip hop, which was tolerance, acceptance, and then what he would do was, he would let me record my stuff, and then he would play me other Scottish hip hop, old school shit, like, that's as good as anything that gets done today, do you know what I mean? Like, crews like Two Tone Committee, or, not so much, I wouldn't say All Time High is old school, but just a whole loads of different regions of Scotland doing hip hop for as far back as the mid 80s, and really kind of pioneering the UK hip hop sound. And then like suddenly you're like, oh fuck, this culture's like bigger than just like what I've seen on the telly. And you're like, right, okay. And it's good because then suddenly you're like, it's not all about you. You realise you're part of a community. And for me, like, just being part of that community got me through years of fucking addiction, homelessness, all the chaos that can hit you. Because I always had a gig to prepare for, I always had something to focus on. And ended up leading to me becoming like a community artist, teaching people in schemes about music or going into prisons. And that changed my life. Him just getting that tape and seeing that I had talent,
amazing,
was just brilliant.
That's amazing.
Right.
That's another, when I've always followed you, but there's a couple of things that have just, the fact that you were sober, I was like, the fact that you're so open about it as well, because I'm sober, I know, so I've always like kind of had a lot of respect towards you for that, and I think it's been brilliant to follow. How long have you been sober for?
So I stopped drinking the first time in 2013, and I was 2 years off the drink. And then I relapsed for a few days, ended up getting to jail, and then I managed to stop again in the start of 2015, and I've not had a drink since then. So you know, I've had a couple of wobbles with other things at different points through my journey of sobriety, and I'm not a saint in recovery at all. But like for the change in my life since I stopped drinking and started addressing why I drank, then a lot of my life has changed. I'm like, you just get more of an insight into what's really going on. You can kind of see your own bullshit a bit, and sometimes it's difficult. I don't get to see my mates as much because of just obvious reasons, and I don't go out to gigs as much. But then I realised actually I wasn't as into live music as I thought I was. Not really. Like, actually, what I like doing is sitting watching lectures on YouTube about shit nobody else is into. Do you know, and like reading through YouTube basically, and realising that's what I'm into. And it takes a wee while to kind of go, do you know what, man? I'm not that person I thought I was, but that's all right. And then just move on, and then obviously like, you're slowly, you build up a new network of pals that's based around them understanding where you're at, or people that don't drink at all. And so it's good. The reason I'm open about it is, one, like, I've always talked about my life anyway, so you can't really put the toothpaste back in the tube, you know, people will want to talk about it. And then the second thing is, like, that's part of recovery, is to kind of try and transmit the message if you can without being preachy. I just met my sponsor before I came here, you know what I mean, and we just had a pure, when you have conversations with people like that, it's just the most honest conversation you can have, because you can actually tell them exactly what's going on, because they've been through it, so there's no judgment, you know, that way, and that's what gives you the relief. Suddenly you go, the urge to drink or use goes away, because you're like, oh, I've actually just told somebody what's actually going on. So it's like, it's good to see a lot of the younger musicians as well, like, you know, there's other people out there that are trying to get sober or putting on sober nights. There's a recognition that it's one thing having a drink problem, it's another thing when it's heavy glorified and all that, you know. So it's good, man. It's good to see, and I might drink tomorrow, who knows, you know what I mean, but I'm sober the day, that's all that matters.
That's all that counts. I mean, that's cool as fuck that they're doing sober nights. Are you doing that as well, Mark? You're doing the sober, what's it called? The
Friction Bum Supper. That's no sober, not.
No.
No.
It's going out your box.
No, that's no a sober one. No, I mean, I'm probably at a stage where I used to get wasted on stage. I don't do that anymore.
What was the Hector Berserk guy?
Alright, so the drive night. Well, so first of all, the space, which is a great thing just next to the bars. It's a venue, and it's a community space. It does loads of different stuff, but they've been doing sort of sober. There's no alcohol allowed on the premises. They opened with a no alcohol rave, and they had, sub club DJs a lot, man. And at first it was a wee bit awkward, but we popped in. It was food and that, but it was like, a rave was a wee bit awkward. But then they brought out some fancy dress stuff and all, and it was just this moment where it was actually really. You'd actually got the buzz for a wee while. So I got a lot of respect for everything the space is doing, but the Louis, I think, is involved with the night in the space, specifically, and they've got Loki and Colin Mustard, they've been on your show before.
Aye. So
I think that's February, I think it's next Friday, I think it's February the 2nd, but no this Friday, but next Friday.
That's quite weird, isn't it? You can have a sausage roll at a rave.
Aye, yes.
I know I'm not the skinniest guy in the world, but when I go to raves, I never ate for about a week.
Aye. Well, it's just good to try it out, and there's it's really the thing about Scotland is there's so much good, so many talented folk about, but there is no really many options to not drink, And most of the other options, you drinking the coffee, like that coffee was just as bad, man. In my opinion, that coffee should be banned. You should tell Sturgeon to make coffees £12 a coffee, and that'll stop it. But the Burn Supper this Friday is people will be drinking at it. I mean, this is the problem that people are going to come up to without getting proper funding for these things, is that in order for artists to get paid, it's usually a reflection on the bar sales. And there's the ongoing debate just now about artists demanding to get paid. I think people were talking about how a poet should get industry standard £160 for playing a gig, and it's like, well, where's that money coming from?
Yeah.
I mean, who is are you selling £160 worth of tickets?
Aye. Because some of the poets are getting booked to play at nights that are funded by Creative Scotland.
Yeah.
So they're getting the proper treatment that you would get at industry level, but obviously it's subsidised by the state. So it's like they'll play that one, they'll play a couple of these nights, they'll get on that circuit, and then they'll have an expectation that that's the fee everywhere, instead of having a different tariff for a different type of event. Some things you'll do for nothing, some things you'll charge a fee, and it's about knowing when to be appropriately charging for different
as a promoter and an artist. I fight with both sides of it, and you just got to be trying to be as fair as possible. And it's like who's bringing it? I mean, it's probably the similarities to the comedy circuit will be the corporate gigs. So I'm sure there's comedians that can make an absolute fortune doing a corporate gig for a bank or something like that.
Aye.
But it's a bit.
See, I think it goes down to, from my personal point of view, I would apply common sense to it, because if you asked me to do a gig as pals, I'd do it for free. But if a bank get in touch and they were like, you want to do this for £60, I'd be like, that's £60. What are we talking about? You're fucking...
You're a bank.
You know what I mean?
But I think
you are literally a bank.
I think that she like, the other day I did I screenshotted a response I gave to somebody that was trying to get us to come in and do something. It wasn't a gig. They wanted me to come and do a 45-minute lecture on themes around the book, and this was quite a well-established public organisation or non-government organisation, so they've been funded for years. They lobby the government on social inequality and all that. So they're brand new and I'm familiar with their work, but they were like, 45 minutes, sorry, we can't give you a fee. But they were offering to give me a hotel and all that, and I live around the corner for the thing, so I was like... So anyway, I just ended up, it was one of the days I was on the train, I was stressed out, not that way, you're like, I know what I want to say, but I don't want to be a dick about it, and I was like, do you know what, I'm going to say exactly what I want to say and see how that feels. I just says, look man, you're set up to address social inequality, but what you're doing is social inequality, because you get paid, the rest of you get paid. You're wanting me to not just do a 45-minute lecture, but you're wanting me to prepare for it, find time in my diary to do it, and then come and do it to 100 people and generate a discussion for them. So it's like, you need to pay something, and then. But sometimes you can do that, and it goes well, and sometimes you might look at it again later and go, do you know what? Maybe that wasn't fair. So I think, like, see when artists they try to say, like you're saying, poets saying 160 flat fee. Some of them, in hindsight at one point will go, do you know what, actually it probably wasn't appropriate to say that to Mark at that time. But you've got to kind of...
Well, they'd actually said it to me.
Or whoever, do you know?
They'd said it to me, but just when I see these threads, I do, usually once a year I get involved in it. Because I'm like, right, once a year I'm going to get involved in the thread, but you end up having to respond so many times, you're like, it's just not worth it. I didn't get round to doing it, but it's just, I think that it's just people, if you actually want to put your heart into whether it's music, comedy, poetry, you really need to work really fucking hard, and you need to build that fan base. You need to get a bit lucky, but you need to put a lot of hard work in. And so if somebody sees, like, you know, like Dan selling at King Tut's, there's so much work, that's years and years of work. So how much did Dan get for that? I should get someone just that's been doing, you know, writing poems for fucking. Anyone can write a fucking poem. You know, we can. Anyone can write a joke.
It's the same as stand-up, man. It's just this wave of shite that just starts, and they think they're headliners, and you're like, you need to build up, you need to earn your trade. Just like any other industry, you need to earn your stripes.
But I think it's natural when you're starting out, your ego inflates a wee bit, and you start trying to test, because you're trying to really what people are trying to do is they're trying to find out what their value is, but they don't feel assertive enough to make a decision about it. So they basically just try. It's like sending out a radar signal and bouncing what bounces back.
And also, there is the relevant point is there is dodgy promoters out there, and there is snakes that will try and take advantage of people. But it's just about getting that right balance, and obviously I can see that with experience from both sides. You know, I mean, the way I see it is that basically I'm quite good at looking around the room and going, how much are people getting charged in here, and because I've been on the other side, I can see what's the outgoings for this gig. And if I've not brought anyone, if it's not my people there, if I've not brought any people, or I've not done promoted it, it's like, well, thanks for giving me this crowd, you know what I mean? But if I've actually brought half the crowd, then I want paid, you know what I mean? So it just depends, you know what I mean? We're right now, we're trying to, you know, for the Gyro Babies, I'm trying to book we've been down in England a few times, so we're going back down to England and we're going to Europe and stuff, and I've got to be honest with them, we're not going to get paid the same amount we'll get paid in Glasgow because we've built that fan base here. But just like we're talking about earlier on, you've got to dip your toe in these places, and if you do a good job, then the next time you can ask for more because you've earned it. You know what I mean?
When you go back next year or something.
Because that's it. Everyone will go. Your word of mouth spreads and goes, all right. If you win over 20 new fans in a new city, they go away and tell. If it's the right 20 people, they can. You know, you've got loads of really cool music fans out there. They love to tell people about a new act they found, and word spreads, and then it's like.
I put out like the album that Mark's talking about the first time he heard me. I put that out for nothing. Do you know what I mean? And that was like that was a before streaming or before people were doing that. And then, but I just saw that as an investment at the time. Do you know what I mean?
If you charged, I wouldn't have paid it. Exactly. Simple as that, man. You know what I mean?
Now my album comes out and it's a tenner. No matter what, because I know how much work I've put in it, and I know that there's enough demand for it that people will buy it for that price. And you know,
and it's a good price.
The hardcore, because I take as much time on an album as some people take on a book. Do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking about the time it's went into it, and because I've established that rapport with the people that buy it, they're like, cool. It's no question for them. They'll buy it when it comes out. But that's after 10, 15 years of like understanding your value, understanding the market, understanding how to change your pricing for different things.
That is true, because I wouldn't give that. You're quite right to charge a tenner for your album, but I wouldn't give that advice to a young rapper who's just dropped their first album. It's like, maybe you should. What has been brilliant, what's been a lifesaver for us is you know, Bandcamp's pay what you like model. That's been really helpful because it means that people that are curious but they don't really know much about us, they can just hit 0.00, download it for free. And then they'll maybe come to a gig or maybe buy a t-shirt or whatever, you know. But then there's also people who, even though they can type 000, they just stick a tenner in. And it's like, that feels really good because they've actually chose to put that in. And there's so many good people out there that are just, they want to support you. They want to.
It's about sometimes you've no got the fucking product for them.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Like, you can't keep on top of this shit.
Because you need to. Well, I need to do a new show. A year, one new show a year, and I'm like, I might not be able to do this.
Do you get in the film the one March? Do you get?
No, I don't get it filmed. I don't put my stand up online. I like that. I like having the element of, you want to see me, come and see me. I don't want to just put it on YouTube and like, I put a lot of work in it, writing my and it's quite. I'm quite similar.
There's a lot, man, isn't
I
it?
know,
That sort of art form,
that is,
and it's quite. Like, I think maybe if you're not at my gig, you might not get it if you watched it online.
Yeah.
I think it's because I talk about personal stuff and all, like addiction and sobriety, weight. I don't really want to put that on YouTube or wherever.
Well, that's it. I mean,
You know what I mean?
if in a perfect world you'd be able to sell the DVD to your fans, but if too many DVDs go, someone's going to put it on YouTube, and then that's it. Your art's getting taken out of context. I mean, that's the same with the spoken word. Obviously, I'm not getting invited to many spoken word gigs these days, but I keep on trying to make a spoken word album because it's easy. All you do is just talk into a microphone and do your poem and hit record.
That's probably how you're not allowed fucking back, because you're like, it's easy, you just fucking talk into a mic. It's a lot of shite.
It's one of many reasons. I think that like I said, the last year I was actually working on a show, and Syndigo was actually going to be, she was going to be working on it with me, and she passed away, so that was kind of obviously just stopped. But the show was going to be called No More Rage, and I was just sort of jumping about all these gigs, calling myself a self-help guru, and it was funny sometimes, and sometimes it wasn't funny. And I understand that the bookers are probably he's not doing poetry, just stop booking him but shouts to Victoria McNulty, she's bring me back into the Class War. So maybe
she's smashing it, man.
So it's 1st of February, I think, but it's called Class War Anti-Slam, so it's a piss take of the slam poetry, and it's going to be a middle class team versus a working class team, and it sounds like it's going to be a good laugh. But
it's going to be
she supported you at King Tut. She's a fantastic poet. She's actually one of the best. There's lots of shite poetry, just like there's lots of shite Scottish hip hop, just like there's lots of shite rock bands. You know what I mean? It's just. But there's just some really good people, and I think that's why Scottish hip hop does get the bad reputation, because you would see a video of some guy rapping in a Scottish accent and go, that was shite, and people don't go, I seen a bad rock band, so I don't like rock music anymore.
Yeah.
But because it's not really established itself properly yet.
Because you don't. I didn't come out my room till I could rap. Do you know what I mean? I rapped in an American accent, and I maybe like the subject matter was still kind of Glasgow, but maybe the slang was still American, and there was a certain inauthenticity about it. But like, even my first demo tape, which I would cringe at listening to, I remember one of my mates and my crew gone back and gone to Divs one time and like listening to the old shit. And he came to me later and he was like, I'm raging. And I was like, what are you raging about? And he was like, I wanted it to be shite. Do you know what I mean? I wanted there to be a time when you were shite. And it was because like I stayed in my room and recorded and wrote and didn't share it with anybody until like I was happy with it. But I didn't have the temptation to upload shit straight away. Mm-hmm. You know, whereas now it's all about streams and views, and that's cool, and I think that's just the changing times. But I think there's a lot of impulsivity now to get the validation straight away, so I think sometimes people will put shit out there when it's not ready, and it'll be that bad that people don't want to rip it because they know they can't. Do you know what I mean? Instead of so good being able to say cunt, man, I'm so used to talking on things that I can't actually talk the way I talk, and so they don't want it. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll be like, aye, cool, that's cool. But obviously once they put it on YouTube or something and other people start seeing it, they will rip it. So it's that extreme. I know, getting the right feedback and then getting harsh feedback. They'll know the conditions to develop because it's too intense. So it's like, I wouldn't be giving any kind of advice. You know what I mean? We guys are smashing it and that's brilliant. But at the same time, like you need to always be listening to your shit and have a vision of how you want it to be. And if it's no meeting that, go back to the drawing board. If it means throwing a whole project out, get it to fuck. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're only kidding yourself.
It's a problem though, but everybody should be able to. It's just a tough one because everybody should be able to just. I mean, for me, writing is therapy, and then performing is just a way of promoting the thing that you've made. But to me, just writing is therapy. So I would recommend everyone should write or find a thing that they, find a thing that they.
Because it'll definitely it'll break that ego down as well. Yeah. Performing in front of a live crowd and getting that feedback. If you walk in a wee bit cocky, it will sort you out. Has we get any questions?
Check your man. Tom, you ask if you can steal my cushion. Abbey Road one.
Aye. Oh, he got your book, did he?
Aye, I saw him tweeting about it. Aye, that's good. I was relieved when the people got them because the snow and the Christmas rush and all that, it was hard getting you get a big order of books in, because I'm selling them direct, I've got to sit and write them all and then post them all and go through the PayPals, or sometimes people will message you on Facebook and Twitter, where's my book, or here's my address.
Aye.
So it's like when you see people tweeting, I got your book, you're like, I don't think fuck everybody got it. Because it's a pure mission getting them out. It's one thing selling them direct, you do make a good bit of money, but the amount of work you need to do to actually get the stuff out is fucking heavy.
Do you get some mad bastards like saying, "No, you know, come to my house with it," and just
well, see, part of the perk with the crowdfund was people who paid a certain amount of money, like I'll meet them with a book and get a coffee with them, do you know what I mean? So like I've done that with a few folk. I'm meeting another, it's actually a pal of mine, she's meeting us, she stays up north now, but you know, there was some people with the crowdfund that like put in, you know, 100 or 500 quid, people that I didn't know.
that's brilliant, mate.
Do you know what I mean? And for all across the political spectrum, I know, like that was what was shocking to me. I was like, hang on, like you're a mad Tory, or like you're a mad lefty, or you're SNP, or and then I was like, hang on, that's right, like I've not actually wrote about that in the book. So there's nothing for everybody to fight about. It's just trying to tell people what the script is.
The buzz that it's kind of generating is similar to, it's nothing to do with hip hop, but have you ever heard of a band called Scheme?
Aye.
The Scheme?
Yeah, man. I've got a good Scheme story. We were in Arran for Hogmanay, best Hogmanay ever. What a party! We were playing a gig there in the Corrie Town Hall, and on the 1st of January there was a wee pub where we were going to do a wee open mic thing.
Aye.
We went there and there's Denny for the Scheme.
Honestly?
Just there, like he's going, can I do a song? And I'm like, I don't want to cause a scene. I'm like, I'll get him on, and it was brilliant. We had a wee lock-in with him and all that. What a guy. I obviously it was a wee bit before my time, but I'd heard all the stories from you know, friends, older friends and family members saying about, you know, in Easter House was the early 80s and how it was just the massive thing. And I watched the documentary. If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, look up, just type in the Scheme documentary on YouTube. It's a really
massive in the 80s. Unsigned Glaswegian band, first to sell out the Pavilion.
I think twice the Pavilion. Yeah, sold it 2 nights in a row or something.
But proper working class, it got the kind of people to come out and like it was a movement.
They marched to London. They played music at the front and they all marched to London during the poll tax. Wow. Stuff like that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'll need to check that.
Yeah, no, it was I think it didn't last long, but it was like a really, it was a sort of an uprising for the East End of Glasgow.
Aye, for Easter House.
Aye, for Easter House. Aye, everybody in Easter House had all like copying the tapes. It was like,
they've got some really good songs, man.
Really good songs, really good tunes, man. Really good tunes, and not what you'd expect for a band for Easter House to sound like either.
Aye,
it was like, you know, it was just that kind of, I don't know if it'd be sort of reggae tinged, you know, sort of, but like a positive message. Do you know what I mean? But a heartfelt positive message. Yeah, really good.
Is there any questions there, Will?
Nah, not really, but
nah, just the usual shite.
Good stuff.
So, what else are we talking about?
Well, use this as an opportunity to plug the gig on Friday then. The Real Pop-Up Cafe in Sucky Hall Street. It's the Friction Bun Supper. So it's basically 8 years ago, me and my pal Sammy B, we came up with the idea of an alternative bun supper where it was, you know, you'd still get your haggis and that, and you'd still have a wee Bradley Buns poem, but it wouldn't be like all toffs and we always kept the rule that we'd never go over a £5, and you would get your haggis, sneeps and tatties and a wee dram with that. And 8 years later we've kept it, so it's still only a £5. We've got Doogie for the Mickey Nine's new act, Gyro Babies acoustic, the Colonel's first ever official spoken word gig.
Oh, brilliant.
So he did it once unofficially. I kind of dared him to do it. It was more like a drunken dare than anything else, and he did really, it was funny. So I'm looking forward to that. Just loads of good stuff anyway, so it's a £5 at the Real Cafe. There's loads of alternative bun suppers now. I mean, there's about 15, and they all use the same fucking picture of rabby buns with the shades on. Because when you Google alternative bun suppers, images is the first one that comes up. And I didn't invent that, I stole it before everyone else, so I found it on the internet. And I used it for about 5 years, but now everyone uses it. And it's there's ones in London and all that. I'm no bitter about it, you know what I mean? I'm not, I don't want to go on about it. I don't want to keep saying that I invented it.
It's only been, what, 7 years or something?
It's just 8 years, you know what I mean? It's only 8 years. It's only 8 years of my life devoted it. And they're all charging 15 quid a shot with my line-up for 3 years ago.
Oh, fuck's sake.
As fuck, man.
Oh, I know, man. It's good banter, man. It's like, you know, like everybody does it. Like Sam Small does it. You know what I mean? And Sam Small's fucking great. He's another good poet. He's
a champion.
He is the world
championship.
The Scottish champion. But he does it. I mean, everybody does it now. It's just like if you're a promoter or you work for a pub, it's like, what can we do? January you always need a wee boost. Let's do a burn supper, but not just any burn supper, an alternative burn supper. but at the start it was quite nobody. Like I was actually, there's a video on YouTube I was looking at last night, and it's you're in it. You were rapping over a jazz fucking song that you'd found. And then you were doing a poem where you were going pretentious, shaking a tambourine. Gasp was there. Gasp was funny. Gasp just didn't know. I was just Gasp had been sitting in the wee side bit of Pevo, thinking that it was an empty pub. And then when he got on stage, it was just like 60 people. But it was like, it was the first time, but that was a really, and that was also Hector Berserk's first ever gig. Louis and Audrey they didn't even have a name. It was the first time they'd played together, and that was quite an important night for me, because what that was the first time that I'd properly spiked people with hip hop. And you know, because it always seemed quite obvious to me that I like hip hop, and hip hop's good. I like good hip hop, and to me that's poetry. So why can't you have some good hip hop flung in amongst the poets? And it worked really well. You know, you had lots of like old school punks that were there that were playing as well, and they don't even like American hip hop, never mind. But they were like, no, this is authentic. They got into it, and I think it's really common now to there is definitely that overlaps. It's more of a thing now than it used to be.
Definitely agree.
Do you think that's like, you know how Scottish hip hop artists, they date in an American accent get slagged? So do you think like fucking Bulgarians try and put on a American accent?
I think there will be an element of that, but I think because they're speaking in a different language, so it'll be a bit more complex. Because if you're learning, like, there's people that speak American English, so it's like if you've got a Swedish pal, they will normally speak, you know, with that American accent, but that's their second language. So if they rapped, it would be probably legitimate for them to rap in that thing. But there probably is a bit of that people that can't speak English are like, that's not real. Keep it Bulgarian 100%. You know?
But my attitude towards it has softened a wee bit over the years. Like, I used to kind of go in hard on folk that rapped in an American accent and think it was like my duty as a Scottish person to sort of, maybe I used that as an excuse to bully people, I don't know, probably a wee bit of that as well. But like, I used to go in dead hard publicly, do you know what I mean? Shout at folk when they're on stage and that, do you know what I mean? At Fae, the body of the fucking gig. And then actually I realised that, like, see if somebody's making a conscious decision to rap American and they've got like a long-term goal in mind about they want to do, even if that is to get commercial success. See if they date and they date well, then I'm of the mind, sound, just you know, support it. Because for one, it's like fucking, like, it's exhausting just finding other things annoying all the time, do you know what I mean? And then sometimes I know, like, you can be kind of blinded. Like if you take Andy Kaufman, we were talking about earlier, do you know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of folk judged what he was doing at the time for different reasons. And sometimes you can miss the cleverness of what somebody's doing because you're too focused on the external stuff or what your expectations are. And I can think of some examples of you know, Scottish hip hop acts that have maybe, like, you know, cleaned up the sound of the voice a wee bit, or quite clearly draped what they're doing in an American aesthetic, but underneath it there's a lot of skill going on, there's a lot of musicality, or there's just a pure balls out attitude of you don't give a fuck. So there's always something to find that you can respect about stuff that you don't necessarily like.
Is Hingway still about member Sonny Govan Radio?
Oh aye.
Is that still going strong?
Stronger than ever, aye.
I can't think of anybody really that's done more than Steg G in terms of the consistency of his material. The Power Cut label were arguably one of the first to release vinyl in the Scottish hip hop community. And they've had consistent vinyl releases through the years. Last
night he's got a new show live for his kitchen.
Right.
So he's just like doing an uncensored, uncut, only Scottish music for the kitchen. Because obviously he has to beep it all out. The guy must spend
No, their last album that they
yeah,
put
the
out,
Freestyle Master albums.
that's one of their best records, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just, and the whole vibe is dead true to where they're at now. Like, the first time I saw them, it was they were doing the support for Exhibit, and I was got to see Exhibit off the back of hearing him on an Eminem album, do you know what I mean, or something. And at first I was one of the wee fannies in the crowd that was like, I'll fucking battle him, do you know what's that accent all about, do you know what I mean, and all that shit. Within a year I'm doing that, do you know, and they're getting me on their record. So it's like, you know, and then as well as that, obviously he's involved with Sonny Govan, which is a Govan institution, you know, like, and Govan as a scheme, as a community, it's got a lot of interesting cool shit going on, like with the Galgale Trust where they're bringing in addicts and all that and teaching them how to build boats and woodwork, and then you've got the Govan Folk University, which is like basically a working class university. The whole point is to find what people already do well in this scheme and just nurture that.
I love the randomness of the Sonny Govan playlist as well, where you literally can get, you know, you'll hear like the Twistettes played next to Elvis, and it's like, I always, every time I'm in a taxi, I'm always telling that if I see them listen to, you know, Clyde, I'm like, you do know that Sonny Govan might be better, because like, as you know, cause I don't understand how people can listen to that, like, you know, get sick of listening to the same songs over and over again. They go, aye, a day, we'll change it, you know, put Sonny Govan.
Because Clyde is just the same 15 songs,
I
or 20 songs or something.
I think this is an area where government can step in a wee bit, because I think in other countries there's a certain kind of mandate that commercial radio has to play a certain percentage of stuff that's locally sourced music on commercial radio, and it's not a massive percentage, so it's not like they're losing a lot of revenue. Say it's like 5% or something like that. See if you were to have something like that, so that you were getting like good quality music locally, and I don't just mean Scottish, I mean any artists of any nationality that are working in Scotland. Like, see if you were just to have 5% of a radio play in Scottish radio doing that. Because otherwise it's all got to go onto Vic Galloway, or it's all got to go onto fucking the 1 hour Alan McRae used to have.
And also the problem with that is that everybody that's listening to that stuff, they're already into that thing, which is great, but it's obviously they're finding new stuff that way. But if you just shine a light on it in that level, and nobody wants to listen to the same songs. I had to go, I had a job about a few years ago, I did, and just briefly, and that radio was on in the background, and I felt I couldn't handle it, man. It was just the same songs, and I just felt like people were a bit brainwashed in the office as well. It was like, oh, this is my favourite song, and dancing, it's a wee bit scary. Honestly, man, maybe I'm the freak though, I don't know, but I was just like, this is no right.
I'm not even kidding on when you say that. So I used to work in Costco, man. 5 o'clock in the morning was nothing. Get into listen to Clyde fucking Man. Brain fucking damage, man. Honestly. Just to fucking hate it.
Even if there is a song that you like, it quickly gets drummed out of you, doesn't it? Because you've heard it 50 times.
But then you go for a Watts night out on the Friday and the song comes on and everyone's drunk, everyone's dancing, and it's weird, man. I don't want to go into Illuminati shit, but I don't know.
Oh, you into all that shit? You into Illuminati?
Well, I believe if flat Earth's a real thing, because how do you explain pavements? So, no, I'm not. I just like. I don't worry, man. I like a wee laugh.
I fucking hope so. Do you believe in flat Earth? Yeah.
No, man, no. I just. Do you know what? If I was younger and smoking weed, I would. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can see it. I mean, I quite like the whole argument, which is no matter what you say back, it's like, oh, you believe the government? Do you believe NASA?
Aye.
So you can't win because you go, oh, you just believe everything you're told.
See, what I don't understand about these theories is the truth is actually a lot more interesting than the conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, see if you actually just think about the fact that the world's a globe and a sphere and a fucking galaxy and a universe, and it's all this shit is going on.
Aye.
That's a lot more fascinating, harder to get your head around than accepting the idea of a conspiracy and a cover up. And you know, people talk about the Illuminati and all that, and it's like, no, the reality's a lot more fucking interesting. I
like the flat moon theory. I quite like that idea. Just a flat moon.
Is that a theory as well?
No, I just made it up, but I'm bringing it out this year.
It's a triangle.
What you got planned for 2018? A new theory.
You probably could start out be your own religion.
It could take off. I mean, I think all you need is a YouTube channel.
I had this.
You need 1,000 subscribers though now.
I had to stop it. I had to stop reading conspiracies. I was right into the JFK, and it was getting to the point I was dreaming about it and all that. And I was like, I need to fucking back off here, because I was like, no, you get killed. It was everybody shot him, man. There was fucking old woman shooting at him and all that. Have we got any questions? Any questions? Cunts.
My party's about to fucking drop.
Oh, good.
Somebody says, what's the collective noun for a few roasters?
A gaggle of roasters.
Roasties.
A clutch of roasters.
Somebody asked earlier what was your favourite song with Scheme as well.
Was that one? No sex, no drugs, no rock and roll, no more. Whatever that is. No, do.
That one?
I murdered it.
That one, I made a good job there.
What's that one, the Hingway? So, when's your next gig, Loki?
Friday, Conroy's Basement in Dundee. Poverty Safari Live. We're doing a half hour, like, kind of stripped back gig, and then a discussion Q&A thing. I'll have some books to sell, not that many, but about 20 books. And we're donating. What we're going to do is we're going to do a collection on the night for a local charity that works with young people called the Hot Chocolate Trust. And then whatever we raise in the collection, I'll match that amount out of the ticket sales, and so will the promoter.
Brilliant.
So we'll hopefully be able to give them a wee bung as well.
That's brilliant.
And so, like, you know, trying to make it, tie each gig into a kind of into something local, and connect with different organisations, because ultimately it is off the back of the book, and the book's all about community, and it's all about, you know, keeping your ear to the ground in places to know what's going on if you're parachuting in for some reason. So we've got that, and then I mean, this year I'm pretty much all booked out till fucking August with different things, you know what I mean? So it's a really good time. But in terms of the live gigs, which is what I would imagine most folk would be interested in, then just keep an eye out, because I'll be in your scheme sooner or later.
Brilliant, mate. And to get your book, you can just get that on your website?
You can get that online. You can buy it on Amazon, or you can get it in Waterstones. I was selling them direct for a while, but I've ran out of stock and everything's already been pre-ordered out of the next batch. So, but if you just Google Poverty Safari online, man, you'll find reviews, you'll find everything you need before you decide if you want to buy it, and then just drop I think on Amazon it's down to like £6 or something, so that's quite good.
Oh, that's good, man.
Aye, quite reasonable price.
So you need to title that, man.
That's a good name, isn't it? It's cool. How long have we done, Andy?
57 minutes.
Right,
that's a nice hour.
That's plenty. That's nice, because if we continue, I could see us just talking about conspiracies for fucking 4 hours.
Quickly, David Blair's asked what festivals are you announced for these?
For Gyro Babies are definitely playing. We can announce so far Audio Suit, and that's in July the 18th, and Lindisfarne Festival, which is at the end of August. You're playing that as well, and it's like the last weekend of August.
Aye.
So there's that. There'll be a Kelburn announcement. Hopefully we're running a wee stage at Kelburn Garden Party, so hopefully have a wee announcement next month about that. Hopefully we're not doing as many Scottish ones this year, because we're trying to get a wee bit further out of Scotland. So, but yeah, hopefully some English ones will be announced soon, and definitely Manchester at the end of April, and Newcastle as well, and hopefully a new Jackal Trades album. So hopefully I have a few gigs for that as well.
Awesome.
I've got music wise, I can't even really remember. I've definitely done Electric Fields, and then I think like in Scotland I'll be doing all the book related stuff this year as well, so just check that out.
Well, you know, when you've got that up and running, and if you've got anything else to talk about, you're more than welcome to come on, back on, and just talk shite, have a laugh. And
thank you.
Well, thanks for having us, man.
Right, an hour, so we're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for joining us. If you've enjoyed it, I'd appreciate it if you could share it and like it and stuff. I've been Darren Connell, and I'll see you soon. Take care.